Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the latest episode of Buffalo Fights number 61. Fighting time travel. Time travel, Donnie. Time travel. Um, we are actually taping the show on Thursday, the 22nd. So if the Bills are to coach, we don't know anything about that. If the horrible snowstorm came through, we know about. That's why we're doing it, because of the snowstorm. And this morning at 9, that's 8:55 right now, and 5 Minute Dr. Andy show is going to be going live all over the interwebs. So welcome. I think we got a fun show going. Dom's got some ideas. I got some ideas too, and we're going to start talking about our favorite sponsor for the show. That is our buddies at Pins and Aces, pinsandaces.com. Every time we go to Pins and Aces, you find something new, whether it's apparel, whether it's hats, whether it's golf things. I'm going to try to look at the different pages done, but I don't know if it's going to work. But what's always is that after you're done shopping and y'all put it in your buggy or your shopping cart up north, you put in promo code Buffalo and you will get an additional 21% off from pinsandaces.com. So check them out. And I'm not even going to screw around because as you see, it's working. Okay, never mind. Maybe we can look at a couple things here, couple things there, couple things everywhere, couple things here, couple things there, couple things everywhere. I mean, I'm not into a lot of this stuff. I do love the hoodies. And look at that one sold out. I would notice that before when we look at their apparel, Don, that if we see something we like, a lot of times it's already sold out. So if you see something on our website, make sure that you buy it when you see it. It might be gone next time you go.
There was a delay. It just popped up now with the hoodies.
Okay, yeah, it's still trying to load. So I think we're gonna cut our losses and just tell everybody you'll never lose when you go to pinsandaces.com and put in promo code Buffalo in your buggy for an additional 20% off. 21% off. And that's good. I was screwing them, Don. I was saying 20.
21.
So you've been sending me stuff last night and this morning all about like the Texas people preparing for a storm. And what's funny to me is some of my friends said, y'all better go to the store before all the milk and bread's gone. I'm like, dude, you know where I'm from? Well, how far back do you remember that being an issue, Don? Or did it all start with the blizzard of 77? First time I remember that.
Yeah, as far as I can remember, it was the blizzard of 77. And that's because, all the stores were closed.
Mm-hmm.
And the first day that people were able to get to a store, they bought everything, or else they didn't have enough because it all, spoiled or whatever.
So I remember, do you remember the store Twin Fair?
Oh, yeah.
They were in the Buffalo area. Well, there was one that was on the South Buffalo, West Seneca border right there on 2nd Street. He knocked it down. It was like a gold circle. It was a hill. There was like an Eckerd. It was a base. It was a million different things. But I remember going there when I was a kid and sitting on the bottom of the cart eating grapes that I grabbed off the counter. Skills my father would see as we're driving along, wondering who else leaving all this stuff all over the place. Well, it was me. But what had happened was, I don't even know if it was a gold circle by then, but during the blizzard 77, people in the neighborhood broke into that Twin Fair, really in cinder blocks, and that was in the back of the store. And the storm was over. It was like all these empty beer bottles. They had a hell of a party, let me tell you, Don.
Wow.
But I remember my dad, Big Ed, he got stuck at the Ford Champion for about weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because that's where he worked for most of his career. Before that, he worked for was it a radiator company? Air conditioning. Federers, do you remember that name, Don?
Yeah, Yeah, they would. Didn't Fetters make air conditioning units?
I just can't remember.
Maybe they
It's
made
just
radiators too. They must have made, yeah, I think they did make radiators too.
escaping me right now. So, what do you remember? Right? How old were you during that time? You're just a tiny bit older than me, even though I tease you all the time. Oh, by the way, all the comments and statements by Eddie Buffalo and Donnie Lowe are purely for entertainment purposes. I didn't even let you do your thing. You
Yeah.
your thoughts, do your thing, and I'm going to share Dr. Andy's show to everybody. Okay.
Yep, sounds good. So thanks for joining us, everyone. Best way to experience
I'm
the
going to unplug.
podcast is if you go to our YouTube channel, EBI Media Buffalo Fights, EBI Media Buffalo Fights, and that's our YouTube channel. Again, like, share, and subscribe if you so wish to do so. If you prefer to listen to podcasts, really wherever you listen, we're there. We're on 53 different podcast depositories. You can hit the fan mail button to send us an email and just to say, hey, how you doing? Or if you have ideas for topics for future episodes, we'd love to entertain that. Or just if you have any feedback for us, we appreciate it. Make it constructive. Don't be too mean. But we do appreciate that.
You'll get it if I don't tell you. So keep going.
And eventually, we've been having a lot of technical issues. Eventually, we're going to be on TikTok Live again. So we'll let you know when that's going to happen. But just know that we do appreciate you taking time out of your day to share it with us. We hope all are safe and all are well. And here we go. If you're ready, Eddie. So while you're doing that, I'll share my story. At the time.
Remind me to tell you what I wanted to tell you about the beginning of Dr. Andy's show, what comes up.
Okay. So we were talking about the blizzard of 77, the infamous blizzard of 77 in Buffalo, New York. And a couple things on that. It was a bad winter leading up to that point. We're almost at the anniversary date because it was like January 26th or 27th. And a lot of snow had fallen already throughout that winter. It was an extremely cold winter, so Lake Erie was frozen over. And what really happened was there were like hurricane force winds almost that were picking up snow off of the lake and blowing it into the city, pretty much. We didn't get that much new snowfall, but it was just all the snow that was on top of the ice on Lake Erie blowing into the city. But I was working as a part-time employee at one of the local hospitals in the dietary department, and I can barely hear you, Ed.
I turned it down because you were blowing me out, dude. Is that better now?
Sorry, just a touch. But so long story short, if 15-minute bus ride to get to work, took me about 3.5 hours to get to work. And it was on that Friday when the blizzard hit. I was stuck at the hospital for like 5 days. So yeah, so I stayed at the hospital. So I guess the good thing of working in dietary in the kitchen, we did. Food. I would say, I'll put it to you this way: we did not go hungry. So,
I asked them, people that got stuck there, did they charge them for the food, or did they just let people just eat? Do you remember?
I think that first day that like in the cafeteria, you had to pay for food, but then after that, I think they just just you didn't have to pay for it. They treated us good.
I remember that's the first time I ever heard about the cheese, because a lot of the people that got stuck at work and they found home couldn't not only did they get unemployment, but they got like food stamps, they got free cheese and whatever else. That's all I can remember. Do you remember anything else that the government came in and did?
No, I remember the cheese that people were able to get, and you're right about food stamps. I don't remember anything else, but I do remember they had to call the National Guard in to remove the snow because there was so much snow. I mean, people literally could not walk out of their front door because it was covered in snow. They had to climb out of like a second-story window and almost walk out right from there, you know.
One thing about my dad, Big Ed, he was never in a war, but he was a tank sergeant, which I thought was kind of cool. You know,
Oh, wow.
the tanks and things like that. And his
Cool.
claim to fame that he was on the same boat that Elvis was on when they came back. He said you couldn't even get near him, you couldn't even see him. Just everybody knew he was on there, you know. But what
Oh,
was
wow.
is that they were so desperate for people. And it had to be like at least 20 years. My father was in the National Guard. He was in the Army, and then he was in the National Guard after. They called him to see if he wanted to come back for storm cleanup, which I thought
Wow.
was when they finally did come down our street when I was on Ladner off of South Park and Hopkins in South Buffalo. They knew him. The one guy did like dumb luck and it was like, hey, Blaine, you want to like, come on, let's go. I'm like, he's like, no. Just the house is so ridiculous. I mean, I remember the fence in the backyard. You couldn't see it. The snow was over the fence.
Yeah. It was crazy how high the snow was, you know.
And I remember me, my dad, and Uncle Bob. My Uncle Bob and Aunt Helen lived upstairs from us when I was growing up, and we walked down to Tops on Bailey and South Park. That's a hell of a hike. That's like walking from like Botanical Gardens to Republic Field on, if you can get that in your head.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I remember we had sleds and we were pulling all our stuff, and Uncle Bob had his beer. He had to make sure he had his beer. He was all set. Yeah. I would carry that. I mean, how heavy that was on that sled, all that freaking beer. Jesus. So now we did a show a couple weeks ago on Buffalo Fights where we paired up. It was a dream matchup. We used Al Intelligence to see what kind of fights it was going to be. And Don's going a different way on this. I was thinking boxing. And by the way, I will never, ever put a man against a woman or vice versa. I will talk to women fighters, and I might do that today. But what was I going to tell you?
So you had to tell me something first.
Oh, about the Randy show. So
Yeah.
I don't know. What did you think about the series of commercials I did yesterday for Dr. Andy? I did first did something like that, and basically it was someone saying, "Hey, had a mouthful, but I had a problem too," because the show is about drug addiction. What did you think about it, Don?
I thought it was I thought that was very, very good. It was I thought it was very enticing to try to listen to view it. So I thought it pulled you in.
Yeah, I thought it was something very interesting. I might do again on one of his other, because depending on the weather, Don, me and Dr. Andy are actually tape shows tomorrow for next Thursday and the Thursday after that. And interesting what he wants to talk about. You know, because we did some pretty heavy subjects the past 2 weeks with drug addiction and alcohol addiction. But at the beginning of his show, YouTube puts up a disclaimer of their own saying if you need help. I thought that was fantastic.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
That was the first thing that popped up when I clicked on the video. So that's very responsible. I think that's fantastic. 'Cause I was so afraid that they weren't even going to show it, you know. And I said that to Andy. I said, we might be doing this for an audience of two, me and you know.
Yeah.
So what next two shows are going to be about? Dr. Andy, not only was he a ring doctor for boxing matches, but he was also a football doctor for an arena league. So
I didn't know that.
One show about his experience with boxing, and the other one about football, and then we'll get back to the hard hitting stuff, the shows. So
I think that's very interesting.
I thought the thing would be really good. He's doing a great job on the show. We just had to figure out how to raise his voice because what?
Good. What'd you say?
Blasting out the world, you know, with my big mouth. You know? Hold the microphone, hold it right up to your mouth. You know, he's such a nice dude. So we didn't really set anything up on this morning. Like I said, I was thinking boxing. Don was thinking of other direction. So I'm pulling up L Intelligence right now, Don. And who are the two combatants that you want to see how they get in a fight? Who would,
Dave Schultz.
hang on, win a fight in hockey? I'm going to do that maybe till it knows what to look for.
Yeah.
In hockey. That's what it ended up with. Hockey. I love them hockey fighters. Dave Schultz. Like he would have been like perfect in slap shot. Against him.
Bob Probert.
Oh God, that's a good one. You didn't pick a saber. I'm shocked.
Well, I wanted to pick. So Dave Schultz was, you know, he was probably the biggest fighter in the 70s for the Broad Street Bullies of Philadelphia, the Flyers.
Speaking of seven,
And
did you see the T-shirt I'm wearing? It's from the 1978 Van Halen World Tour. And whose band opened for him in North America?
I know.
Our buddy Sheen and Talis. So I had to buy it at the record shop.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's
And Bob Probert, Detroit Red Wings in the 90s and late 90s, early 2000s.
Let me ask you this because this is something I forgot. What was Dave Schultz's nickname?
Oh,
It's a good one, right?
it is a good one. Oh, I knew it, but I can't think of it.
Just like you, Don. The Hammer.
The Hammer. That's right.
While both legendary enforcers, they represent different eras and physical tiers of the game. Well, interesting. Here is a breakdown of how they stack up. Dave Schultz, 1970s Broad Street Bullies, Bob Probert, 80s and 90s heavyweight era. He was a fella, you know. Who do you think was bigger, Schultz or Probert, Don?
I think Probert.
Boy, they were light in the ass. I mean, Dave Schultz was 6'1", and he was only 190 pounds. And then you got the big boy, Bob Probert, 6'3", 225.
Wow.
Fighting style, fearless, high volume, aggressive, Dave Schultz. Probert was technical, powerful, stamina based. Okay. We had more penalty minutes done.
Who had more penalty minutes? Ooh.
That is, it's not even close either. I thought it'd be closer than that.
I guess Schultz, but Probert, man, he had a lot of fights.
Dave Schultz had 2,292.
Wow.
Probert had 3,300. He couldn't go one extra for 3,301, you know?
I know.
Now, who of these two gentlemen, if you want to call them gentlemen, had the most penalties, it's still record for the most penalty minutes in a season, and what was that? I'll just stick with who was it. It gets too hard to do that.
Yeah, I guess it would be Schultz probably in the season.
And how many penalty minutes in a season?
He probably had 500 or something like that.
A little bit
400 something.
472. You're close. Okay, so L Intelligence went over all this stuff. And who do they think would probably win, Don? Who would you think would win in that fight, first of all? I want to hear that.
I would say Probert.
Yes. He's widely considered the greatest heavyweight in NHL history. Here's why. He would have had the upper hand. Size and strength. We already went over that. He was a lot bigger man. The heavyweight evolution, I never heard it named like that. By Probert's era, enforcers have become specialized heavyweights, including Tommy, which you've talked about a million times, Marty McSorley, oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Georges LaRocque. Am I saying that right, Don?
LaRocque.
Rock. Were more about team-wide brawling and intimidation rather than specialized one-on-one combat of the 90s. Technical skill, Probert was famous for his stamina. He would often let an opponent punch himself out while he held him at a distance then finished the fight with devastating power once they grew tired. Don't hammer out for heart. He had a bigger heart. Schultz was a pioneer of the psychological warfare. I bet he talked a lot of crap. He didn't just fight, he tried to break the opponent's spirit. The Schultz rule. Oh, just like a Rob Ray rule. You ever heard of the Schultz rule? I never heard of it.
No.
He was so effective and arguably dirty that the NHL had to create rules to stop him, such as the rule of boxing wraps under the hockey gloves. Holy shit, Don. You know what boxing is? I know you're not a big boxing guy. I wear wraps that actually have padding like right here under my gloves.
Oh.
And it still hurt my hand. You know, it's pretty hard, you know. So I think on another show, they say, hey, do you want to see how he would do against George Laraque or Ty Domi? Dave Schultz are talking there.
That would be interesting.
So
maybe Domi.
You know, when he first came, we first, you know, convinced a little bit this morning. He goes, hey, about the hockey player. I'm like, dude, this is a boxing show. You know, I don't know. And I was like, but that's fantastic. Thank you, Donnie, for going in a different direction. It was well worth it to take a look. So,
well, you're welcome. I mean, there's some with there used to be way more many more fights in hockey.
So just for myself, and I will never do it on the show because I do not like violence against women. But out of curiosity, I had to ask about Muhammad Ali fighting his daughter Layla Ali, and obviously the old man would win, you know. But something that we've talked about on the show quite a bit. You know, I was looking at the tail of the tape between Muhammad and his daughter Layla.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty close. Not to each other, but to another fighter we've talked about. Who do you? And I think you probably know if you remember what I told you. What I found. Excuse me.
Yeah, Mike Tyson, right?
Almost the same tail of the tape. He was thicker. He had like 10 pounds on her, and he only had 1 inch on his reach.
Yeah.
The exact same height too. I'm like, holy crap. If I was reading that in an article or somebody was just, does what? You know, he full crap, you know, but I thought that was so as a tribute to our friend Layla Ali, I think I'm going to put her against another modern fighter. Well, she's pretty much a modern fighter.
She is, yeah.
I'm going to put her against somebody that's a little bit more compact. So, let's see. Who would win a boxing match between Layla Ali and who am I going to pick on? Dakota Ditcheva? No. She says she's more of a kickboxer.
Yeah.
Rowdy Ronda Rousey.
Oh. That would be interesting.
By the way, if you're ever looking for a good read, her love story is a very interesting read. She went through a lot, you know, and she was more of a judo person than a boxer, you know, or a person. And then in WWE, you know, and took the name from Roddy Piper. Yeah, that's and his family let her use that name. I thought it was pretty cool. So let's see what Al Intelligence has to say.
Seems like Al Intelligence thinking a little bit slower today than normal.
So what it's coming up with is in a pure boxing match, most experts and combat sports analysts favor Layla Ali to win decisively. While both women are legendary pioneers in their respective sports, the difference in specialized skill and physical size matter. All the heavy favorites in the ring. Still specialization. We're going to start with Layla Ali, pure boxer. With you know what her record was, Don?
No.
Impressive. 24-0 with 21 knockouts.
Wow.
She spent her entire career perfecting the sweet science, just like the old man, footwork, head movement, and jab combination. She was a technical master in the ring. And people don't realize that if you have a good jab, that could be your bread and butter. Instead of looking for like a huge knockout with a wild swing, you keep on jabbing. You're like a pass, like boom, 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 boom. Especially if you're a counterpuncher like I am. It just, you know, you might hit me a couple times. I'm going to hit you 12 times as you're trying to do so.
Yeah.
Ronda Rousey, an Olympic bronze medalist, judo, who transitioned to MMA while he had some knockout wins in the UFC, like in South Korea. Her primary weapon was grappling. So I'm thinking this was a bad matchup. It's interesting, anyways. Primary weapon was grappling. Her striking distance was notably exposed in her losses to Holly Holm, a former boxing. And she was, smaller, So physical size advantage. Okay. You remember how tall Tyson was, so I'm gonna go with this. Her Layla Ali's height was 5'10", and it's really weird how they did this. And this can't be right because I don't believe this. I think this is wrong. I really do, unless they're going backwards on this. Because no, I'm reading it wrong. I'm sorry. Height, she was 5'10", and Ronda Rousey was 5'7", so she had 3 inches on it.
Oh, okay.
Her reach, just like Mike Tyson, had 1 inch on her, was 70.5. Now, in the last one that we saw, Tyson had 71 inch, and she had 70 inch. So if she had 70.5, she was only half an inch off of his reach, which is amazing. And Rousey only had 68, which isn't really much, but that extra 2 inches makes this is the big thing right here. Layla would fight between 160 and 168, which is super middleweight. Ronda Rousey was a bantamweight. She was 135. So they'd be it'd be like me and Don. Yeah, it would not be good.
Yeah.
LA's taller, blah blah blah. Okay. The most compelling evidence for an Ali victory is Rousey's fight against Holly Holm. Holly Holm beat the crap out of her in UFC 193. Holm, a former multi-time world boxing champion, used to basically boxing the lateral movement, which is huge. And that I think that's when my hip bothers me now as I'm getting older. The lateral movement. At the end of the jab, where Rousey's lack of traditional boxing head movement would make her a vulnerable target. That's very interesting. In a boxing, Layla Ali wins. She's the bigger, stronger, and more technical puncher. In an MMM cage match, Ronda Rousey wins. If Rousey were allowed to use her judo to take Ali to the ground, the fight would likely end in a matter of seconds. Yeah. That is really interesting.
That is.
We have time for a quick one, Don. Give me 2 fighters or 2 hockey players if you want. It's pretty interesting, dude. And we'll go through it real quick.
All right. So,
or unless you want to do a boxer player.
Unless we want to do what?
Boxer against a hockey player.
Oh. No, because I think you want to keep it.
Yeah.
Because it's totally different. You're on skates versus in a ring,
If we run out of ideas and we jump the shark, we'll do something cheesy like that.
How about what's his name for the Rangers? Remke?
You gotta tell me, you're bigger on hockey than I am, dude. If you know his name.
Remke? His last name is Remke, Remke.
Oh, dude.
Against Rob Ray.
You gotta know his whole name, though, dude.
I think it's John. I'll look it up real quick. I'm pretty sure it's John Remke.
Would win a hockey fight.
No, maybe it's not John. Is it Remke?
What do you play for?
New York Rangers.
against New York Rangers. Do you know how to spell his last name at least?
I think it's Remke. Yeah, it's Jon Remke.
Spell it again for me, Don.
Remke. I think that's the
Against your buddy and mine, Rob Ray, which I think everybody in the Western New York area has a signature from Rob Ray. I never seen it.
no, not John and Matt. No, it's Rempe. Matt, Matt, Rempe.
Spell it again, Don.
Matt, it's R and then Rempe, Rempe.
Rempe?
Yes.
Keeps on wanting to change his name. See what we come up with, Don. This is interesting. Now that we finally know the gentleman's name. I'm so prepared, Don. Okay. Interesting. Once again, you like putting the new guys against the old school guys.
Well, because you want to have different eras. Because if they were playing at the same time, they would have fought most likely.
So, comparing a modern day giant like Matt Rempe to a legendary old school enforcer like Rob Ray is a fascinating look at the hockey fighting as evolved. Very good. In a hypothetical matchup, the result would largely depend on which era's rules they were playing under. Rob Ray was a big dude. He was 6 feet. Remke was 6'9". I can't imagine how another 2 inches with him being blades. Oh my god. Rob Ray, 222 pounds. Matt, 261.
Oh wow.
Matt Rempe, style, long range, jab heavy, reach based. Rob Ray, infighting, the razor, jersey shredding, steading. 15 plus, active as a rookie and a sophomore. Rob Ray is 6th all time in fights at 294.
Wow.
All right, Don, who win? Gotta get 6'9" against 6 feet. Who's gonna win this fight? The big guy?
I still think Rob Ray could beat him.
Rob Ray was a technical genius in the golden era of enforcers. Rob Ray famously figured out that if he loosened his jersey and pads, it would fall off the moment a fight started. This left nothing to grab while he remained free to throw punches. Experience. Ray fought the most dangerous men in history. Here you go, Don. Idomi, Bob Probert, and I don't know this guy's name. Joey Coker.
Kosar.
K-O-C-U-R? How do you say that?
Kosar.
You play for?
I think it was he with Detroit?
Mm-hmm.
I think, right?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
Yeah, I don't remember.
He has the fighting style of an older Eddie Buffalo, because I use the disadvantage of, or I should say their advantage of being tall as a disadvantage. He was a master of getting inside a taller man's reach to deliver heavy body shots and uppercuts. You're just gonna get him. You're gonna get him. Durability. Ray was notorious hard to knock down. He fought a phone boot style that would likely nullify Rempe's advantage if he couldn't close the gap. Why Matt Rempe might win? The reach. He was 40 pounds here, 9 inches taller. His wingspan is one of the longest in NHL history. Very interesting. In his fights against veterans like Matt Martin and Nicholas Deslauriers. Deslauriers. He used his long distance jab.
No, Deslauriers. He used to play for the Sabres.
Oh, he was a card. He used to come back in the future, is what you say. And he was a Deslauriers. He used his long distance jabs to pepper opponents before they could even get close enough to grab his jersey. Modern conditioning. Rempe is a giant who can actually skate. Interesting. I gotta look this guy up. You opened up my eyes to it. His sheer downward force in a punch, aided by gravity and the 6'9" frame, is a lot for even a seasoned veteran like Ray to absorb. The verdict. Are you ready, Don?
I'm ready.
Under 1990s rules, Rob Way, you wascally wabbit,
Wascal.
and without tie down rule, Ray would shed his gear and under Rempe's long arms and use his superior balance and experience to outwork a rookie. Under 2020 rules, Matt Rempe wins. In a modern era, Jersey must be locked down and stage fights are shorter. Rempe's massive reach advantage would likely allow him to land several heavy shots from a distance, making it very difficult for Ray to close the distance without taking significant.
So the 2020 rules are because of Rob Ray.
Correct. He changed it if you think about it, you know. So, and who do they want to put Rempe in against? They give you suggestions on the bottom. See what you think about this time. Bob Probert and Zdeno Chara.
Ooh. Only because Chara was such a big, tall person too. But he was. I don't think he was that good of a fighter.
Well, I first want to thank everybody for being with us today on this show today. And honestly, when Don said he wanted to do a hockey fight, I'm like, I thought that was really super interesting, you know, because I mean, they're still fighters, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's, I would wonder what these guys would do if they were in a boxing ring. Boxing ring. So let's do this. I'm not gonna go into a fight or anything. Are there any NHL hockey players that transitioned into professional boxing? But a lot of them use it for off-season training. It's one of the best.
Oh, really?
I don't know this guy, Don. I don't know if you'll either, because he's from the 1940s.
Oh,
Ray the Muzz Patrick.
I don't know.
Steve Bosse, Boss, with a little look on the top. He was a mixed martial artist.
Oh, wow.
Hunter Warner. I don't know this guy either. Lionel Conacher,
I think.
Notable mentions: Dave Semiko and Evander Kane.
Mm.
Currently in the NHL, Kane's father was amateur boxing. He was an amateur boxer, naming him after. Evander is named after Evander Holyfield, dude.
Oh, look at that.
While Kane professionally, he famously challenged internet personality, son of a bitch, Jake Paul to a boxing match. So that's really interesting, you know.
That is.
It's not really surprising that these guys would train as boxers in the off season. Jesus, you know.
I know.
I would love to do a contest between me and Robert and see who can break a bag faster. His dad's Coach Jerry. He put money on Eddie Buffalo. Let me tell you. Okay. So, like I said, this is for Monday, the 26th. 1/26/26. Don, can you believe the first month is almost over?
I know. No, I can't believe it.
So, if the Bills have a new coach, which I don't think is going to happen until after the Super Bowl, could be wrong. But hope everybody was safe during the storm. Hope it wasn't as bad as everybody was saying it was going to be. And break into Twin Fair, drink some beer, have a party. You know, like, Jimmy Griffin said one time when the pubs weren't coming fast enough, "What are you worried about? Have a 6-pack. It'll be fine.
Stay home with a drink a 6-pack."
Yeah. Hail Jimmy Griffin. God bless his heart.
I know.
He lived right around the corner from us.
Oh, did he?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
He lived right on the border of South Buffalo and Lackawanna, right on Dorrance Avenue there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, you could see the Elvis Smith Plaza from his house. That's how close he was to Abbott.
Wow.
But they many years ago, girls and that. So you didn't even say nothing about our logo today, Don. I'm really disappointed. I thought
think
it was cool.
it's very cool. I love it. I love the gears on top. It's you do a great job with that, and I like the fighting time travel.
Well, this has been turning into one of our favorite shows for me, anyways. I don't know about you, Don. I'm thinking you with the whole hockey stuff. I'm thinking you're digging this pretty much too. But we're gonna end the show like we end every other show. If you like working with people that are just like you, have the same life, have the same values, and love your family as much as we do ours, we are definitely people to work with. You can reach us at EB Agency, which I didn't even pull up today, Don, because we've been so busy talking about fighting.
I know.
You can email us at eddiebuffaloinsurance@gmail.com. And you can also call the hotline. What's the hotline, Donnie?
That hotline number 716-541-4118. Let me say that again. 716-541-4118.
Fix them, Don. And for our French Canadian hockey playing friends,
Ooh.
number for them.
You know, I used to know how to count to 10 in French, but I know I'll mess it up because I'll get it mixed up with Spanish. So for our French Canadian friends, it's 716-441-4118.
Hey, you guys want a beer? You want some bad thing? I'm Bob McKenzie. This is my brother Doug. Welcome to Great White North. Done. Why? I don't know, but they are making another move. And it kills me that I'm not gonna believe this. That song with Geddy Lee, that is technically the only #1 song Geddy Lee ever had.
Really?
Yeah. It's just so funny. So hope everybody enjoyed the show, and we'll see you next time. Tomorrow, ABI News for You. Nothing's ever going on in the world, so it'll be boring. Wednesday, part 2. Annuities are your friends. What's the name of that show now? Oh,
Insurance Questions Podcast.
And then Thursday, I don't know what we're going to do first for Dr. Andy. It's either going to be the football show or the boxing show. But I almost said to him, maybe we should get you involved in the boxing show. But he doesn't like it. He just So we're out of here. Take care, everyone. Thank you for spending your time with us today. Take care now.
Ciao, ciao.